Well, I'm glad I've got all kinds of help there behind me, because if it wasn't for the help, I'd never get through life. So, hey, I want to thank you for being here. My name's Chuck Hansen. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina. And a little bit of bio about myself: been in business, owned an advertising agency for 16 years, got thrown into network marketing in 1987. Never thought that I'd ever be in this industry, because I didn't understand it. I didn't really have any appreciation for the one of the most powerful business models on the planet, because I didn't know anything about it. When I did, a friend of mine, kidnapped me, took me to a meeting. And what I found in that meeting were people that were making more money monthly than I was making annually after 16 years in business. So I paid very, very close attention to what they were doing. And by the end of the night, I became addicted, right? I became addicted to network marketing, and I fell in love with the industry. And so I've had my love-hate relationship within this industry for the past 31 years. I've made a lot of money, but more importantly, I've helped a lot of other people make a lot of money. So, I hope you're ready for a change. We put together a presentation that I think will give you a very detailed snapshot on what it is we're doing, and perhaps you'd like to be part of it. What I talk about and what I've talked about since the turn of the century is your best decade ever. Yes, it's great to have a good year, but most of us need more than a good year to just make up for all the bad years that we've had. So I say, hey, let's make this the best decade ever. We've all made that leap from 2019 to 2020, and here we are into a brand new decade. So, guys, it really is all about you, right? Everything in your life is a reflection of a choice that you've made, good or bad, right? And you just think back a second. If you want a different result, then you've got to make a different choice. There's just no other way about it. You can't expect a different result from doing the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. So you've got to make a different choice. And I know choices are difficult. I'm the first one that'll tell you that choices and changes are difficult. But, these are the roaring 20s, and we're going to get started. One of the things that I love about a new year is that people make resolutions. They make all kinds of resolutions. And statistically, half of them give up by February. And you got to ask yourself, why? Why is that? The reason most people give up by February is because that resolution was too small, right? It wasn't life-changing. It wasn't going to have a huge impact on their life. Like, oh, I won't eat the crust of bread, for the whole entire year. Well, okay, cut off the crust, or something ridiculous, right? So it's not life-changing. So, I hope that if you did, like the other 94% of the people, if you did make a resolution, I hope that you made it life-changing. I hope you made it big enough so that it'll impact, everything that you're going to do from this point forward. The question I ask everybody all the time: if you knew that over the next 1 to 3 years you could create a 5, 6, or perhaps even a 7-figure massive passive residual income, would you commit the time, the resources, and the effort necessary to make that plan work? If somebody pointed you to this information, to this presentation, that's what they're wondering about you. If you saw something, they're looking for a yes or a no. They're not looking for a maybe or I'll try it, I'll stick my toe in, or anything like that. They're looking for somebody who is committed to, if they see something good, they'll jump on and let's all go to work. So, that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Before I do that, I want you to reflect. I want you to do a little reflection. Let's think about the last year. How's that? How was 2019? Did you accomplish everything? Did you make the kind of money that you wanted to make? Did you go on the vacations? Did you have the free time? Did you do all the things that you wanted to do? More than likely not, right? because there's just never enough money. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, you know, if you don't want the next 10 years, and certainly we don't, if you don't want the next 10 years to be like the last 10 years, that is, unless you won the lottery or something, then, you know, you got to do something different. You know, you got to go down a different path. So, you know, just think about the last 5 years, the last year, the last decade, all of those things. And if they weren't what you had hoped that they were going to be, then let's make a change. Let's make a change right now. The journey, that's what I'm calling this, is really the journey. And it is a journey. It's not just a short trip. It's a journey that we're going to take over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. But I'm convinced as I am, you know, as I am right now sitting here doing this presentation, that if you join me on this journey, your life after the next 3 to 5 years is going to be changed forever. And because you're going to get personal development, you're going to get a lot of things that are going to be put into your life that wouldn't have necessarily ever come along. But you know, you've got to be ready. So it's a story about a journey that has a beginning but has no end. It really is, in my opinion, the missing piece to millions. And the company is called VALENTUS. And you know, I've been in the network marketing industry for 31 years. I think that this is, without a doubt, the best opportunity I've ever seen in my decades of being in this industry. And I don't say that because I'm here. I'm saying that because I investigated this. I did some real due diligence. You see, I got a call from Dave Jordan, my smiling buddy there, in May of 2018, and he told me about a product. He said, Chuck, we've got the most amazing weight loss coffee that the world will ever see and ever try. It is fantastic. And I said, Dave, listen here. I'm not interested in building another team. I've been consulting for a couple of companies. They pay me a lot of money. But, you know, I was flying around the world. I was eating too well, too often, and way too much. And all my meetings revolved around eating. Right? So I continued to expand. My waist expanded. You know, everything was getting bigger. I was getting fatter. In fact, I was the fattest I had ever been when Dave called me. And I thought, well, what the heck? I listened to this call. The testimonial sounded great. And I said, you know what, Dave, I'll try some of that coffee. Probably won't work for me, but I'll try it anyway. Got it a week later, started drinking 2 cups of coffee like I normally do every day of my whole entire adult life. And, you know, accidentally got on a scale. A week later, I was at the vet with my dog, and he got off the scale. I got on, and it didn't register where I thought it should register. I'd lost 9 pounds, right? I went home, weighed myself. I'd lost 9 pounds total without any effort, any dieting, anything, no going to the gym. I had a kind of a blown out knee, and I couldn't go to the gym, so there was no exercising. And then that got me to start paying attention, right? I paid attention over the next 2 weeks. In that month, I lost 18 pounds. 18 pounds. That got me totally excited. I bought an airplane ticket, called Dave up, and I said, Dave, I'm on my way to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I want to spend a couple of days with you. He said, come on. So I did. And, you know, what I wanted to do was my due diligence. I wanted to go in and do a forensic investigation of VALENTUS, what got them to where they were then, which was 4 years old at that time. They'll be 6 years old this July. And I wanted to see everything for myself, right, with my own 2 eyes. And Dave, being the kind of person he is, he allowed me to look at everything. I mean, everything, right? So what I found was reminiscent of a couple of other companies where I had made millions of dollars. And I said, after those 2.5 days, I looked at Dave and I said, you know what? I said, I think I'm going to retract what I said about wanting to build a team or not wanting to build a team. I said, I think I'm going to join you, and we're going to have a lot of fun over the next 3 to 5 years. So, you know, there's a little bit about the company. They continue to grow at a breathtaking pace. Since I joined, they've grown at over 2,000%. Now, I'd like to take credit for all of that, but I can't. So, but it sounds good, right? And guys, we're just beginning this journey. We're just beginning this journey. So this is a nice 13,000 square foot building. The company has now moved into a 57,000 square foot building, still has this 13,000 square foot building. First international office in the Philippines, now our #1 market. #2 is Spain, and then the US market. And the company is expanding all over. You see, we've got a global seamless compensation plan, which allows us to refer people anywhere on the planet. So no matter where you have contacts, you can refer them to Valentus. They can then become a distributor. We can ship them product because we're shipping product to them on a not for resale basis. We're shipping them product under an NFR rule, which is not for resale, personal consumption only. In some markets, we're going through the registration process, and that's a very tedious process, and the people that are in charge of that are doing an awesome job. So, that'll all get handled. Journey, the realization, but the realization starts when you make the determination that you realize that your life sucks, right? I mean, that your job sucks, that where you live sucks, and maybe even your car sucks. You're sick and tired of watching your life just slip away, and you want more out of life. That's when it all starts to become real for you. Until that happens, you're just kind of sliding through life, letting things happen. And like Les Brown says, just staying at the bottom, just doing enough so that you won't get fired, and your boss is paying you just enough so that you don't quit. So when you're ready, something great is going to happen, and maybe that time is now. Maybe that time is now. Hopefully it is, because you know what? It's like that law of attraction. I was looking for a weight loss solution. Dave Jordan called me. You're looking for an opportunity to change your life. Maybe that's why you were, directed to this information. I don't take anything. I say nothing happens, coincidentally. It happens because it's on purpose, right? So if you're here, God bless you, and just pay close attention to what it is we're doing. What is it that you want? Just go ahead and think of however big that is, right? What is it that you want? What are you willing to do to get it? And don't focus on the hows. We're just going to focus on the what's, just the what's. The hows will come later. So just focus on the what's. And, once you decide that you want things to change in your life, nobody or no one or nothing will keep you from reaching your goals and dreams. The rest of it, the ABCs, the how-tos, are very, very simple. We do that and have done that for years and years and years. But you've got to be ready, right? You've got to be ready. The whole thing is really up to you. So let's talk about some things that are near and dear to my heart. And, these are really the components that separate those people from being average to being above average. And there's not very much separation. The first one is belief, right? You got to have a belief in yourself. If you don't have a belief in yourself, then stick around us. We'll give you enough belief so that you can weather the storm and, attach yourself to this journey. The next one is effort. I can't do anything that for you. I mean, we just can't. It's going to take some effort on your part. This is not one of those things that you pay your money and all of a sudden you get rich. There just are none of those situations that I know of. And if there are, they're very, very few and far between. So effort, it's going to take some consistent effort over the course of the next 3 to 5 years. You got to have a big desire. That's what's going to keep you on track, is your desire, a burning desire to get out of or get away from, the circumstances that you're now currently in. Because I've been there, right? I grew up on the south side of Chicago. So I've been there. I know exactly what a lot of people are going through. So, you've got to have that desire. then you got to take some action. If you see something, then you just got to jump on it. Don't worry about, figuring it all out. Just take the action that's necessary and get started. The next part is commitment. The commitment is that once you take the action, then you've got to commit to doing certain things. And it's like being on all of these Zooms, doing all the things that we participate in, all the trainings that we do and everything else. Make that commitment and, spend that time. And I know that time is a valuable commodity. I'm the first one that will agree with you that there's only 24 hours in a day, right? And within that 24 hours, you've got certain things that have got to be done. You sleep, you eat, you work. But if you have something that you're focused on, you'll find the time. You'll sacrifice something else to do something that you're passionate about. So get passionate about, living your dream, right? You got to have discipline. And discipline is really the hardest thing. I really commend those young people that get into network marketing and have the discipline to do things that their friends aren't doing and aren't involved in, and to stay focused on this business, because in the next 3 to 5 years you can be doing everything that you've ever wanted to do and will ever want to do while your friends are busy working. They'll wonder what in the world happened. But that's the discipline. The other part is consistency. You've got to stay consistent. This isn't something that happens in a week. It's not going to happen in a month. I'm going to give you a plan to show you how it can happen in a year, but it could take longer than a year. It could take 2 years. It could take 3 years. Look, John Horenza, who's the master distributor, great guy. You'll get to hear from John here one of these days. But John has now been with the company 5 years. His annual income just went over $6 million a year. $6 million a year, and doesn't have to work. He's going to make $6 million a year whether he works or not. So that's $500,000 a month, folks. So just in case you want to do the math real quick. The secret of a 6-figure income is really simple. It's very, very simple. All you got to do is never quit and stay focused. Never quit and stay focused. There's a lot of things that come, across your path, from day to day, week to week, month to month. Stay focused and never quit. This is a business that you're starting. This is a global business, and you're going to have to operate it like a business. So stay focused. It's a 3 to 5 year plan. And if you'll dedicate yourself to this 3 to 5 years, you're going to thank me that you were on one of these presentations, and maybe I was a little bit responsible for helping guide you down this journey that we're going to go to. My gift to you is time and financial freedom. That's really what it is. I'm going to provide a plan that if you implement and you focus on, you can become one of the top income earners in the world. Now, that's a pretty big statement, right? But this has nothing to do with network marketing, has very little to do with products. It has very little to do with all the other components of what most companies talk about, but it has a lot to do with just the math component, the reality that if you do certain things, this is how the VALENTUS compensation plan will pay out to you. So what I've done is I've taken and I've simplified this. I've simplified it down to the bare minimum. Knowing that everybody is busy, all I want them to do is, get started, and a couple of different ways to get started. In my opinion, there's only one way, and in this example, there's only one way, and that is to buy the Business Builder Pack or the Career Pack. The Career Pack is $11.95. Business Builder Pack is $600. They both maximize the compensation plan. So that's the key here. You've got to maximize the compensation plan in order for this plan to actually work. You got to commit to buy 3 products or 100 BV, 100 business volume, for $160 every month. But I'll show you in very short order how that $160 doesn't come out of pocket. It comes out of profit. So it's really not that big a deal. And you got to find one person a month, not 10, not 100, one person a month that'll do exactly what you're doing. And everybody that I ask if they can find one person a month, they all go, sure, of course I can find one person a month. Your job for the next 12 months is to find one person a month that'll do exactly the same thing. So this is something you can do if you decide that you want to do it. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. You've got to make a decision, and it really is, action, the key to success. I love that picture. And here's the plan. And what we've done is we've taken you through 12 steps or 12 months, and we show you exactly what'll happen. This is your team size. You get started. You sponsor your very first person month one, whether that's January. Hopefully it's January, right? And you make a whole $100. Now you've got $160, in expenses. If you bought the business builder pack, your $160 doesn't start until the following month, right? So in month two, you've now got 3 people, right? You got, and this is the business volume. The reason I put this column on here was to show you what happens when each person the following month makes their 100 BV or business volume purchase, right? And then what your income is. There's your total income. So month two, here you are 3 months into it, 90 days. You've worked 90 days, you've sponsored 3 people, they've sponsored 1 each, right? You've made a whole $320. So you basically paid for 2 months worth of your auto ship, your loyalty purchase. So you paid for, you got started here, you paid $600, you got started, you made your loyalty purchase the month after and the month after, but now you've made $320. So you're even with the world. Now here's what happens. Month 4, your team is 15 people. It's starting to grow very consistently, very on purpose, right? And your income is starting to grow, $260. Now, I understand that that's not a lot of money, And if people were to ask you, hey, how's that deal going that you got started in? And you told them $260, they'd probably laugh at you and ridicule you like they did me. And except my first check wasn't that much. My first check was only $43, so they really did laugh at me. And that was after a long period of time. I failed miserably for the first year. You see, I wasn't teachable, I wasn't trainable, I wasn't coachable, I was none of the above. And then I had to change what I was doing. Month 5, your team is growing, right? You've now made $400. Hey, pretty good. All right, it's starting to kind of make sense. But you know what? Most people would have quit at 90 days. Most people would have quit. And here's why. Everybody wants instant success. And success only comes before work in the dictionary. So this is not instant success. This is a 3 to 5 year journey. So get that and focus on that this is a 3 to 5 year journey. Month 7, hey, your income just went up. You just doubled your income. Look, you almost doubled your income from month 5 to month 6, and month 6 to month 7, you almost doubled your income. Your team is growing and continues to grow. Now, month 8, $2,540. All right, hey, now I'm starting to make a little bit of money. That's pretty good. And we get paid weekly, right? So this is monthly income, but we get paid weekly. So you'd have 4 checks. Sometimes we get 5 checks in a month. Depends on Fridays, right? 9th month, your income doubled. You got $5,000. Now, if that same person asked you, hey, how's that deal going that you're in? You say, hey, I made $5,000 last month. They go, really? No kidding. Hey, why don't you tell me about that again? You know, that's what's going to happen to you. That's what's happened to me. Your 10th month, $9,900. You're almost at 10 grand. Your income doubled again. And that's what happens in this industry, folks. It's that a lot of people doing a little bit of volume, right? These 2,047 people on your team just spent their $160 each, which all came out of profit, and they produced 204,000 in volume, $2,407 in volume for you. You still went along and you're still sponsoring your one person and getting your fast start bonus, but you made 39 grand. Now have somebody ask you, you're going to be on fire, right? They won't have to ask you. You're going to be telling them, hey, guess what I made last month? 40 grand. You know, they're going to say, whoa, tell me what's going on. Your next month, you know, and it just continues to get better and better and better. These 4,095 people just made their 100 business volume purchase, $409,000 in volume, right? You just went to $78,000. If you added this up, it's like, you know, $150,000, almost $160,000. That puts you in the top 10%, actually in about the top 7% of the people on the planet. Now, what if this took you 2 years to do? You know, that's really ridiculous. But, you know, 2 years, that would still be amazing, because look at where you are now. The average income in the U.S. is $35,000 a year. Well, you know, you went to over 35,000 a month, you know, in your 12th month. You just did in a month what most people barely do in a year. And so that's the kind of income that got my attention back 31 years ago. And that's why I dedicated my life to helping as many people understand this industry. And this is all just based on you finding one person, not 10, not 2, not 4, just one that will make the commitment to do everything that needs to be done over the course of the next 12 months. So what is it you want? You know, a lake house? Maybe so. I wanted a lake house. So I bought this lake house on Lake Travis in Austin, Texas, and designed it a little bit differently. When I bought it, it was only this section, and then built this, built the guest house, built all of this, and designed it a little bit differently. You know, maybe you want a new car. You know, I wanted a few new cars, and so I decided to go get them. So, you know, this one right now, the VALENTUS is paying for a new Range Rover. So, you know, go find the things that you want, and let's work out a way to get them. You know, here's our Zoom schedule and the conference call schedule. I want you to jot down these numbers. This is the code number that we're on right now. Tuesday, Dr. Chi, great guy. He does a Zoom at 2 p.m. There's that code number, and I'll send this out to everybody. We've got a Russian Zoom that we do. Andre does a great job. Big group growing in Russia and all over the country. And then Dr. Chi does another one at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Diamond Mitch does a Zoom, and then we do a training on Saturday at 11 o'clock East Coast time. The company does 2 calls, Tuesday and Thursday, and then a Monday training call. So definitely beyond those, you know, get familiar, and we'll get this out to you. But, you know, print this off, have this available, and jump on there and look at everything. This is what I want to call your attention to. This is where you need to be in May. No better place in the world than to be at the Green Valley Resort in Henderson, Nevada, suburb of Las Vegas, in May, to see everything that's going on. It'll do a number of things for you, but, you know, building your belief system, meeting the founders, meeting everybody there, getting really cutting edge training, new product launches, and there are going to be several. And it just is something that we do, right? I mean, we all get together and have fun. May the 13th through the 16th, and we'll show you. You can go right into your back office and get tickets. So, I want to thank you for joining me here today. I want to make sure that I see you and meet you at the Las Vegas event. Make sure that you come up and introduce yourself to me. I'll be there. I won't have Rocky with me, but I'll be there. If I could, I would. And but I'm glad that if you do join the team, I'm tickled to death, right? If you don't join the team, then get back. Let's get your questions answered. I know it's just questions. Just get those questions answered. Let's get them out of the way. Buy your business builder pack and let's get started. This is a very, very simple and fun business if you keep it that way and keep everything in perspective, right? That we're building a 3 to 5 year business, and your life will never, ever, ever be the same again. So with that, God bless everybody. Thanks for being here. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording and end the meeting. Good night, everybody.